Welcome back everyone. In this screencast we will continue our evaluation of a code coverage tool, Kobertura. Our previous blog post explained how to use Kobertura in different ways, like from command line or using eKobertura, which is an Eclipse plugin, or using Antask. The podcast gave comparison of various code coverage tools and how Kobertura suits well for certain types of requirements. In this screencast we will see how Kobertura can be run in Eclipse and how to analyze the report. We will also see what we have learned about the code that we analyzed using Kobertura and eventually conclude with the benefits of using Kobertura and a code coverage tool in general. We will demonstrate how to use Kobertura first. Currently, we can see the Eclipse workspace with OpenCSV project. OpenCSV is a very simple CSV, that is comma separated values parser library for Java. This is one of the smallest projects that we are analyzing as part of our evaluation of Kobertura. For running Kobertura, go to the project, right click, cover as, go to coverage configuration and double click on JUnit. A new configuration will be created. Go to that configuration, go to the test tab, select run all tests in the selected project, package or source folder. Click on search, go to the test folder, click on OK and select the test runner, that is the version of the JUnit library. Click apply and then click coverage. We can see that all test cases are run. Go to the window, show view, go to other, coverage session view, click the coverage session view and click on OK. In the JUnit view, we can see that OpenCSV has about 112 unit test cases and all of them have executed successfully. In the coverage session view, we can see that about 1500 out of 1800 lines were covered by test cases, giving us a line coverage of 82.31% and 262 out of 322 branches were covered by test cases, giving us a branch coverage of 81.88%. Most of the times, 80% code coverage is considered to be a good percentage. Based on the facts that the code coverage is above 80% and all the test cases pass successfully, we can conclude that the code is well tested and will contain fewer bugs. Also, 100% passing rate of test cases suggests that the code is well maintained. The factoid published on olo.net, which tracks health of various open source projects, backs our conclusion. Let's move to our next project, Cassandra, which has 606 unit test cases. 267 out of 606 test cases executed successfully. As seen from the code coverage report, only some 20,000 of over 1 lakh lines have been covered, resulting in the line coverage of 16.66%. Moving on to the branch coverage, some 5,000 out of 55,000 branches have been covered, giving us a code coverage of 9.54%. Clearly, we can say that the code is not well tested. It might contain a lot of bugs. It is also not well maintained. As mentioned in the podcast, Kobertura is lagging behind in the race to catch up with the latest version of GREs being published. Because of the bytecode instrumentation style that Kobertura uses, it fails to run on projects which are compiled using Java version 1.7. However, the Cassandra project was built on Java 1.7 from scratch and failed to provide backward compatibility. Hence, when we tried to compile it using Java 1.6, it failed. We had to do some changes in the project's source code in order to get a valid coverage report out of it. This helped us identify the backward compatibility issue with the code. However, this has also established the fact once again that code coverage tools need to be up to date with latest versions of various programming languages that they support. Moving on to our next project, that is OpenMRS. It has about 2400 test cases, out of which about 1500 executed successfully. In the coverage session view, we can see that about 29,000 out of 63,000 lines have been covered by test cases, giving us a line coverage of 45.90%. And about 5,400 out of 19,000 that is 27.82% of the branches were covered by test cases. Looking at these numbers, we can say that OpenMRS is not well tested. It might contain a lot of bugs. Also, a large number of failed test cases suggest that the code is not well maintained. We found similar results on the OpenMRS page. They have used ECL-EMMA for code coverage and it is 27.6% as per the figures released on their wiki. There is also an OpenMRS ticket which plans to integrate Kobertura with each build so that code coverage is calculated on each build, and if the coverage for a particular layer or package does not meet the specified coverage requirements, then developers can add more tests. After analyzing the above 3 projects, we have compiled a list of some useful tips that will help you choose the right coverage tool for your requirement. First, make sure that the coverage is calculated for all files in the code, even the ones for which you have no test cases written. The second is that make sure code coverage report is based on different metrics such as line coverage, branch coverage and so on, and is not dependent on just one metric. The third one is that the report should be well structured and easy to analyze. Kobertura fares well on all these fronts. Kobertura as a code coverage tool helps us determine the code quality, the possibility of bugs, and how well the code is maintained. It helps provide a detailed code coverage report including the line and branch coverage. It also helps you drill down into different packages and classes. Here are some points which will help you get the best out of your code coverage tool. Make sure that the coverage is being calculated only for your code and that code of third-party libraries is not being included in the coverage report. If your coverage tool includes third-party libraries into final coverage report, it will be a better idea to generate another custom report which gives the coverage figures only for your part of the code. One thing to notice is that coverage tool reports are flat and give us only a project coverage and a file-by-file view of the coverage. There is no intermediate view. Most of our times, our applications are structured into layers, example the MVC pattern. It would be great if the tool would report coverage of different layers. This is because we do not usually put the same test efforts on different layers of the project. In order to achieve best results in such a scenario, developers should structure their project into packages such that each package represents a layer. Such a structure is meaningful for day-to-day work as well as code coverage analysis. A figure showing an example of ideal code structure is here. It has the controller, manager, model, service, utils, view as separate packages. Its corresponding code coverage report is shown here, which helps you determine the type of test effort to be put in for each layer. In this way, developers can quickly check that sensitive application layers like domain, model, service, utils in the above example are rigorously tested. Developers can keep a threshold for particular packages. For example, 100% coverage on model, manager and utils. Build should fail for under 80%. 80% code coverage on the service. Build should fail for under 50%. And 0% code coverage on controller's view. Build should not fail because of it. Currently, it is not possible to specify the threshold on specific packages, but there are surely ways for doing it. Once you start adding UI test cases, the code coverage for controller's view would also increase. Another point is that you should try integrating code coverage with a build and set a threshold for the coverage results. This should be a part of continuous integration. For example, the build should fail if particular percentage of code coverage is not achieved, and by continuous integration, the code coverage will run on the newly added code too. Before we conclude, we would like to reiterate the fact that 100% code coverage does not mean 100% code quality. For example, 100% code coverage for the code does not guarantee that it is thread safe or that it will work on all platforms. Another example is of the code which contains regular expressions. A single test case for pattern matching will give 100% coverage for that line, but it does not mean that the regular expression works for all the cases. To conclude, we would like to say that all software development teams should include code coverage calculation as an integral part of their release cycle. The team should set a minimum code coverage goal prior to project release. This should be done by keeping in mind the available testing resources and the importance of preventing post-release failures. A software for which impact of failure is very high should clearly have a high code coverage goal. Sometimes unit tests can be given more priority than system tests in projects where a failure in lower level code may affect multiple high level callers. This is the case for most of the projects. A high level code coverage typically means that code coverage above 80%. Developers should keep in mind that although it is very difficult to achieve 100% code coverage, you should aim for higher levels of code coverage. Thank you.